Sonic and the Black Knight is a truly amazing game. It has quickly become one of my top 5 favorite Sonic games just after beating the game, which I can't really say about many Sonic games. A lot of times I have to play the game a good bit to really say if I love it. But this game, I immediately came out of it knowing that this was just phenomenal. And to get into why I feel that, I think the best place to start is the gameplay. This game is completely different than any other Sonic game. The storybook formula is just a complete detachment of anything we know about Sonic games. For example, the very method by which you move is completely different than any other Sonic game, because in other Sonic games, well, you point the stick in the direction you'd like to go, and Sonic rotates to that direction and starts walking. Super simple. I mean, this is basically a thing in every game. But in this game, Sonic cannot rotate. For example, if you try to pull the analog stick backwards, he doesn't turn towards the camera and start running. No, he just walks backwards. And you can see by all the gameplay, Sonic is always set in one direction. You're just changing if you're going left or right or forward or backwards. You're still locked on that track. So not only is it just a different kind of Sonic game, it's a very different kind of platformer in general. And truthfully, this isn't my favorite Sonic formula. Sometimes the fact that it's locked on a track feels a little bit restricting, and I wish that I could have more freedom to control Sonic. But the thing is that this game executes this formula absolutely perfectly. The storybook formula was absolutely perfected here. There is basically no problems with it. So there is a part of the gameplay I should probably talk about. I don't know, the big flipping sword he has on the box art. Caliburn in this game is easily the most well-integrated Sonic gimmick ever. All of the moves you can pull off with the sword feel so natural. They just feel like a natural progression of Sonic's moveset. And being honest, while the sword may be a little bit jarring in the scheme of things, if you just showed me this game and I didn't know anything about Sonic, if you told me that Sonic always used a sword, just looking at this game, I would have believed you. It's definitely a case where the gimmick doesn't feel useless or just tacked on. So as Sonic and Caliburn traverse through these levels, I must mention that the level design is really, really good, and has actual difficulty when it's needed. It felt like as I got better at the game put the correct challenges in front of me that actually put my skills to the test. The difficulty progression is just so good that I didn't even think about difficulty at all while playing through the game. It was such a natural progression that difficulty just wasn't something I was concerned about. So yeah, the level design and difficulty is just so well put together, man. It's kinda crazy. So this might be a little random, but there is really one cool mechanic that I just had to bring up because I really like it. So in this game, if you jump while holding forward, when you land on the ground, you get a solid boost of speed. It's definitely a really appreciated addition, and it's really fun to use this mechanic on ledges and stuff so you can just jump over them with a boost of speed. So to wrap up my thoughts on the gameplay, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Sonic games, gameplay-wise. So really, the only problem I have with this game is that I just personally don't like the formula that much. And I'll tell you right now, you know a game is good when the only criticism you can give it is that the gameplay's philosophy isn't my absolute favorite. I still love it, but it's not my absolute favorite. When that's the only criticism you can give it, yeah, it's good. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the visuals and the art style of this game. Oh my gosh. They cooked, bro. This game's art style is so strong, man. Everything about this game just feels so stylized. Heck, even the album cover is raw, bro. Dog. And the graphics are really good for a Wii too. The bloom looks really, really good, and there's actually some really nice shadows. Just look at this, man. And of course, the footage you're looking at right now is 1080p emulated on Dolphin. Well, of course, that's not what the original game looked like. It was at a much lower resolution and looked more like this. And it still looks incredible, but it doesn't even stop there. The Wii didn't have these sharp pixels. It was actually pretty blurry. So let me just add a little blur to it. Gosh dang it, it still looks great. But that's just the in-game graphics. That's all I'm talking about, but Holy smokes, the cutscenes. Oh my gosh, the cutscenes. Where do I even start? Every single piece of art in these cutscenes just feels so inspired. There is just nothing soulless about these cutscenes. In fact, I could say that about almost this entire game. This game is probably the least I've ever wanted to skip a cutscene in Sonic games. Heck, sometimes I would even want to skip an Unleashed cutscene, even though Unleashed has amazing cutscenes. Sometimes I'm like, I just kind of want to get to the next stage, dude. But in this game, I sit down, I put my controller down because I wanted to focus in and listen to this cutscene. And I can say with full confidence, I don't think there's a single one of these cutscenes that looks bad. All of them look amazing. And so that's kind of all I have to say about the visuals in this game. I could just go on for days about how beautiful this game is, whether that's its art style, its graphics, it's just, everything. This game looks incredible in every way possible. So, talking about the cutscenes, that brings me straight to my next point. The story in this game is freaking amazing too. This is easily my favorite characterization of Sonic. This is probably one of my favorite universes Sonic's been in. All the characters look freaking sick. The world is so cool. Like, everything, man. I'm about to become a Jason fan just because of this game. I don't think y'all realize how good this is. Like, this is Jason Griffith Riz, bro. Like, so, I'm not gonna yap on any longer about the story because everything about the story in this game is just flippin' peak. This is like the best in the series type of vibe is what I'm trying to get at here. But before I wrap up this video, there's one more thing I gotta talk about. And boy, it's not even a criticism. It's just another thing that's peak. The soundtrack. Oh my gosh! Again, it's great. You know, I wish I could just say, "Oh yeah, it's an S tier soundtrack." No. We got to pull out like an X tier or something because it's just like words aren't describing correctly how I feel about this. Every single vocal theme is amazing. Every single level theme matches the level, and it's just a jam on its own. The cutscene music's fun too. Just everything is good here. There's like 3 tracks that'd be like, okay, that's just kind of a, kind of normal song. There's only like 3 of those. And those are like menu songs. That's kind of it. And even those are bangers. But literally, those are the only low points. Like I said in the beginning, this game has quickly become one of my favorite Sonic games, and just one of my favorite games in general. So really, Sonic fan or not, I think everyone should play this game because it's just a fun time whether you're into Sonic or not. So even though this game is a deviation from what we normally see, dang it, they found something good. And I'm glad that they ran with it because it's just, I gotta say it again, this game is amazing. And so really, to put things simply, Sonic and the Black Knight is pure art.